Alright, well, it says we're live. Let's give it a minute and see if the notifications go out. Every time I do a live, nobody gets notifications. What's up, everybody? Alright, we got some people here. Michigan Custom Craftworks here. Kind of impromptu live stream Sunday night. What's today? November the 9th, 2025. Hopefully you guys had a nice weekend. First bonfire here in the wood stove. This is my outdoor shop. Thursday into Friday was raining in low 60s here. And about 6 hours ago it's been light snow. So about 30 degrees right now in the Midwest, and got our first fire for the season. Yesterday we had a leather craft show. It was a vendor here, a local, about an hour and 10 minutes north from where I live. Was really good, and we did really well. It was a score. Since the last two, I did one in May and one in July that really sucked. Was basically a break even. This was the payoff. So was really blessed, really fortunate that was a good turnout, and sales were good. And one thing about these vendor shows, trade shows, craft shows, leather craft shows, arts and craft fairs, whatever you want to call it, whatever title they put on the event, it really comes all down to how the host of the show really markets their event, and they tell all us vendors that, oh yeah, we've been marketing for the last, 3 months and posting on all social media platforms and, things like that. And it's like, there's no way to verify that. There's no way to, know whether or not, it's been marketed right. It's been advertised for the length of time that they state. But yesterday was a good volume. I roughly had about 114 people come by and, take a look at my leather goods at our booth. And so we were really pleased with the event. The show was really, well advertised, well marketed. A lot of foot traffic, which, that really there in a nutshell, doesn't matter what you sell, guys. That's a make or break on the whole thing. A lot of these one-day shows too, people I saw just, older people that are, running a side business or running a hobby that they're trying to turn into a business, that are really struggling right now. And, frankly, I don't know if that's, the economy. We're in a down economy. If it's, stagflation, inflation, hyperinflation, shrinkflation, a 920 inflations, whatever you want to, label it as such, that, I think it comes down to really three things. Do you have a sellable product? Number one, is your product sellable? Is it something that people want? Um, is it a necessity? Number two, is it a necessity? Is your product a necessity? Are you helping meet a need or solve a problem to a solution? Um, as a business owner, when you're, making handmade or custom goods, or, you know, putting a product out there as a business, what problem are you solving? What solution are you trying to accomplish? Um, to your consumer, to your customer. And, there was a guy, probably I'd say early 70s, him and his wife, first time there that they've ever done a craft show. And he's selling wooden nutcrackers that, is a seasonal item, holiday wood carving that you would put on your front porch for Christmas time. And, it's just like people can live without that. People can do without, um, having a woodcracker for, Christmas time on their porch. And, just knowing really what you're selling, what you're making, is it desirable? Number three, is there an interest out there? Is there a market for what you're making and what you're selling? Is the third one, I would say. And, like costume jewelry was another one. This lady had two sales where they're, 6 hours. You have to come there early, or it's an early, prior night setup. There's a lot that goes into these craft show guys, these vendor shows. It's a lot of hauling. You got your tables, your chairs, your setup, your totes. For one day, not to sell anything, that's worse than breaking even. And yeah, so anyways, I've been busy with custom orders. I've got one more show, Black Friday weekend, at another local mall in my state. And it's a high traffic area. She's been marketing this event roughly since the beginning of August. And so 250 vendors are going to be here. And Velasca Garcia, what's up, man? And Yushin, hello. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining the live stream here. Anyways, I've been busy with custom orders, guys. These last two shows for the year. It's been up and down. It's been hit or miss, but I'm blessed and fortunate enough to hey Minnie, thanks for stopping. Welcome. I've been blessed and fortunate enough. I've been doing this 5 years now to run my own business and make a product that is desirable and that's of good quality, that's durable, that's going to last, that people will want and enjoy for a long time. And that's the satisfaction that I get out of custom leather work as an owner, as a maker. And, to get on here tonight, the major announcement really is I've been on YouTube for 3 years now. I got 125 subscribers. And, there's been a lot of changes with YouTube in the last couple of years. There's a couple other craftsmen that watch my channel that have noticed views are down. Views are down for everybody. There's a guy, he's out of Tennessee or West Virginia somewhere in the South. He's been on 15 years on YouTube and he's got like 1,500 subscribers. Guys with pushing out videos, YouTube algorithms, really kind of drive the feed, the algorithm, and people are, seeing the content. That guy should be at like 20,000 subscribers, you know, and it's just, there's another guy. He says that I've talked to him through email, and he says that he's been on YouTube for 11 years and he's got like 875 subscribers. Like, guys, he should be like 25, 30,000 subscribers. Like, post, 3, 4 times a week. YouTube's gonna push that out. Any new content, to get clicks, get interest, get views. And I'm not monetized with this channel, so YouTube doesn't pay me not a dime. And Minnie, what do I make? I make custom leather goods, belts, wallets, crossbody purses, tote bags, leather desk office mats, that BLADE knife sheaths, one of a kind items like leather seats for cars. I'm where I live, I'm close to the auto industry, so automotive really drives a lot what I do. And so yeah, back to the story. YouTube doesn't pay me. I do this when I get a custom leather order from a new customer or a returning customer. I do my build alongs and these tutorials and step by step explaining what I do, so that the average Joe that turns in to view my content for the first time and stumbles on my channel because it's popped up in their YouTube feed, they can kind of generically kind of understand and have some kind of serenity of watching my content and have it understandable, that they can kind of say, oh yeah, he's putting the buttons on, the rivets on the purse, and they kind of have an understanding of what I'm doing without going into too much detail. They can see and hear my steps and understand what I'm making. And that's kind of the joy of really kind of, and I'm a people person. I'm very outgoing personally. If that doesn't come across in the videos, then yeah, you guys definitely don't know my personality. But yeah, I love the interaction. I love the social content. I love the dialogue and the feedback. I respond to 99% of the comments unless they're just outright absurd. Then they are either timeout or they're banned from my channel. But I get, on a 10-15 minute video, I'll get, 200, 450 views. To a short will be like 1,000 to 1,600 views. And with those views, I should be getting subscribers. I mean, the subscription is free. It's not like $10 a month, at the gym, cancel anytime. Like, it's free to watch. There's no information. Like, I'm not asking for an address or a phone number or email or anything like that. And CMA, yeah, so like a lot of old vehicles with like gear shifter knobs that have the leather on them that, is not being, manufactured. They can't source the leather. Seats, the leather interior on the seats. I'll do some upholstery work. because literally some of these dealerships won't touch it. You know, they rather sell you a whole new seat, which lucky for them, it's more money, you know, than rather, you know, tear the leather and the, you know, the foam up underneath the seat and rebuild it. So, yeah, thanks for stopping in, man. I really appreciate you tuning in. I'm just giving a major update here to, you know, pretty much say that's going to do it for me, guys. You know, it's been fun. It's been a nice ride. I've got over 200 videos. You guys, I've created multiple playlists from, you know, what leathercraft tools I use on a daily basis to the type of hardware that I'm putting together on my leather projects for my customers. Um, Explaining different, you know, types of leather and the process of how they're tanned and how they achieve like the different colors of leather and the thickness and, you know, what to use to, you know, build such a product. So, you know, unless something's really pressing, the, you know, the new year of 2026 brings, that maybe I might pop back on here if I have a, you know, one of a kind custom order that, you know, I don't think's out there, like duplicated, you know, 100 times on YouTube, that I might get on there and load it up in my shop and post a video. But yeah, I just, you know, it's frustrating when, you know, you get 400 or 500 views and there's 3 comments. You know, it's not a monologue. This is a dialogue. That's why they call it a community. It's a back and forth. You know, I share the content, I create the content. That's why they're called content creators, like myself and a couple other people that have YouTube channels that are my subscribers. And we go back and forth, and, you know, we share ideas. We say, you know, hey, you know, I would have, you know, did it a little bit differently, and here's why. And, you know, that kind of thing makes us all better. You know, it's a reach one, teach one, you know, share thoughts and ideas to make one another better. And if we did that, then the world would be a better place. And I know that it would be. And there's a lot of great channels out there, but everybody's getting suppressed with, you know, the censorship that's going on. You know, if you're a 2A, you know, you're really shadow banned. Free speech, as far as, you know what your political views are. Anything you know, about Christianity or the Bible, that's really shunned upon with YouTube. That your channel's not favorable to them, you know. And you can put the videos out there, but then the algorithm just doesn't acknowledge it in the feed, you know. They just, you know, push other content that's mindless and thoughtless with, you know, a 15-year-old kid playing Minecraft and, you know, on a computer laptop is what they're going to promote. They're not going to promote the other guy's channel, you know. That's just the way it is. It is what it is, guys, and that's been, unfortunately, that way for a long time. You know, I was talking probably 2-3 months ago. There's a guy that you know, watches my channel. I watch his channel. I'm subscribed to him, and he's a BLADE channel. And, you know, anything with weapons, anything, you know, 2A, like I said, you know, Second Amendment, YouTube's really against you. They're not for your channel. And, you know, he was talking about, like, just, people putting like, 15, 20 hashtags just, to get, the algorithms to pick up the video, and, saying like people are getting that taken down. There was a guy, he, like I said, he lives in Tennessee or West Virginia. He was at a craft show last year selling his leather goods. And, lo and behold to him, he didn't know any better. He was just kind of showing his booth off and, advertising that he was there at the show for all local people that wanted to stop by and see his leather goods. And, DJ Funky Fresh in the background's got the music going, and it was some copyrighted song, and he got slapped for his video because, it had a copyright music song in the background, and so it's just gotten really out of hand. It wasn't what it used to be, when it started out, 15 years ago. And, it's a Google platform, YouTube's a parent company. And, just everything you say in your phone, guys, is being recorded. It's being tracked. If you don't know, well, now you know. So, and, yeah, so on that note, guys, I'm going to end it here. Like I said, anything pressing in the new year where I feel like, one custom leather project comes along that's pretty unique, and I feel that the urgency to post again, I will. But pretty much for this is going to be the end for me. And I'm signing off now. Michigan Custom Craftworks. Y'all be safe and take care. Bye.